The brand Idaho is very important to the state, and as we travel around the world, we do everything we can to protect the word Idaho as it relates to agricultural products, particularly potatoes. I know I've traveled all over the world as we've tried to expand particularly fresh Idaho potatoes, and we find there's a very strong connection to Idaho, to the word brand name Idaho, and to quality. And so we do know there's others that would be interested in trying to tap into that without necessarily growing potatoes that were grown in Idaho. So we have to be very protective of that as we try to expand around the world, and even in countries where we're currently not expanding into.
What we're trying to do in Europe is to work within the system that they've established, which is a geographic indicator system. And a geographic indicator just says that a product gets registered by name and with certain quality requirements to be met, and then it's protected within the entire EU and within other countries that have trade agreements with the EU. So they've been very aggressive. The U.S. has not been very aggressive of recent years, except for just recently with the Trade Promotion Authority, or Fast Track, being passed. So maybe now the U.S. will get a little more aggressive and we'll have more options. But that didn't exist for us until just now. So the other agreement is what's called TTIP. And TTIP is the agreement that's currently being negotiated between the EU and the U.S. If it goes into place, we want to be right there to make sure that we are protected as part of that final treaty.
We do know of efforts of expanding some fast food restaurants in the EU that would benefit from Idaho potatoes. So we know there's some opportunities. We have seen some evidence of folks trying to utilize the word Idaho in Italy and Greece and some other places. So we do know folks are very aware of the word Idaho and as it relates to quality Idaho potato products. So we know there's a market for us. We just have to be judicious in how we work with others from the U.S. to enter into that market.
One of the charges that Frank brought to the Commission 10 years ago was to expand international markets, which is great. We've done a great job of expanding those markets. That means we also have to now go to all those markets and obtain protection. And so we've got a bunch of markets now that we're working in. We already have probably 20 different registrations of one sort or another around the world. We probably now need to get another 10 or 15 in the next few years.